This video is being recorded at 3:50 p.m. Pacific time on Monday, July 18th. So right now it's the Asian session on Monday. Not too much movements in the market today. Most pairs were retracing, no breakout moves, but I'll share a trade I took yesterday evening in Pacific time. I took a trade. This was trade number 8 on US dollar Swiss franc. So I was looking to sell this pair on a retracement trade. However, that did not happen. We entered at 6:17 p.m. Pacific time. I was following, I think, the 1 hour time frame, so I only took 1% of risk on this trade, and we got out within just a couple minutes at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we're able to grab 4 pips out of the market. So I consider this a break-even trade, and USD Swiss franc did not break out. So let me show you what it looks like on the chart. So this is the weekly chart of dollar Swiss franc. You can see we had a huge up move since April, all the way up to, call it $1 or 1.00 even, and it's been consolidating ever since. We've been having lower highs and keeping the same lows at 0.945. So if you draw a descending trend line, you can see it's been resisted each time on the wicks here. So my setup move is to see if the market will sell it down this week to the previous support at 95.53. That'll be about a 200 pip move. This is the daily chart. You can see it's essentially, it looked like it was breaking down with this engulfing bearish bar here, but yesterday was a consolidation with the doji and the price didn't go anywhere. I'll show you the lower time frames, how that unfolded. So in the 4-hour chart, you can have a clear picture of how it was attempting to break this previous low here at 0.97618. Looked like it was breaking out, but then the momentum stopped and it retraced. Here is the same action on the 1-hour time frame. So this is expanding volatility here. You see higher highs and higher lows. So generally I like to stay away from these markets. And I was able to get out in time without taking a loss on this trade. So let me show you my precise entries and exits on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, so yeah, during the Asian session open on Sunday, we see the price was gradually sold down, and then at exactly 17:55 Pacific time, there was this relatively large bearish candle, broke through the previous low, and then it started going down. I was waiting for some kind of consolidation or pullback, and that seemed to have happened from 1800 hours until 1815. That's when I took this breakout confirmation as my signal to enter the trade. So it did go down, I think around 10 pips to the bottom, and then you can see here from 1825 onwards, it essentially started consolidating. So at this point, I was kind of wary of being in this trade, wary that it would retrace, because if it's going to go, it's either going to go or not. So then looking at these 5-minute bars here, I saw it did attempt to break out at 1900 hours, and then we had a retracement, and then I exited on this bull candle that pretty much engulfed the doji here. And then that did end up being the low of the move that day, and then we can see throughout the Asian session, US dollar Swiss franc went all the way back up. It did try to break out again in the London session, but I wasn't watching it at this point. The sellers brought it all the way back down to the previous low and even tried to break through one more time at 3 a.m. my time, but that did not work, and the buyers came in the New York session and pushed all the way up again, and it closed at about the same high level. So as you can see from the 5-minute chart, a lot of volatility on the Monday open for this week, but no direction for this pair yet. So yeah, overall this was a successful trade. I attempted this setup when it was happening, and when it didn't happen, I exited quickly enough to actually gain 4 pips of profit. So those 4 pips will go into paying the entry fee for my next trade. And as far as the setup for the other markets this week, I have tagged a bunch of pairs that I'm keeping my eye on that were trending either on the weekly or daily charts before, including USDJPY. This is probably the best setup to trade, as it was trending upwards on all the time frames. But right now it's flat, it's still retracing, so we'll wait until it breaks the previous high, or any kind of other descending trend lines up, and we'll look for the next buying opportunity. But yeah, this month has been pretty active so far, month of July, so we'll see if it continues right until the end of the month here.